Hello everyone, and welcome back to more Minecraft. I am just down here in a cave gathering some deep slate because for today's episode what I want to do is something that I've been putting off for a long time, and that is we're gonna detail the town, or at least a couple buildings anyway. I think I want to start with the bank, and I'm going to need probably stone bricks, maybe some deep slate bricks. We're gonna need mossy stone bricks, which I've already started doing thanks to our moss farm that we built a while ago. And yeah, maybe some more tuff. There's a little bit of tuff down here as well. I don't know yet. We're gonna see how this all shakes out once we get up there and start building. I think there are a couple ways that we could approach the texturing here. So I have in my inventory a stack each of other options. So right now this is all made with tuff. So we can go darker, we can go lighter, we can break up the dark and the light. We can even stick in some cracked stone bricks if we want. And some of the ways that we could do this, there's the way that we took with the smithy over here where we just kind of randomly threw in some blocks around. And there's nothing wrong with this approach. It does break things up a little bit. Another option is the gradient. A lot of people will do dark at the bottom to light at the top. That is one option. I don't know that I want to do that. We also have this roof here, so having it be lighter right under the roof I don't think makes a ton of sense. We could instead take the darker blocks and throw them up there to create sort of a shadow line. And I think because of the way this comes down half the block there, that might actually work to just sneak in a dark shadow line there, and then maybe somewhere in the middle here we put in some of the lighter blocks. I wouldn't necessarily do it in a line across the way, but that's an option. Yeah, you can see right here what I'm talking about. Here's our shadow line with the actual shadow from the sun, and I think we could do something like that. Let me grab my Silk Touch. I know I usually play with shaders, but I wanted to turn it off just to really sell the idea. It is generally way brighter everywhere when you have the shaders turned off because you don't get the shadow lines and things. So you can see how we're making something of an artificial shadow line. I'm on the fence, but I'm gonna keep going around anyway and we'll see what it looks like. I've done all the corners, I've done all the way around now, and I think it's fine with the shaders on. It masks the transition a little bit. With the shaders off, you can see it in full bloom. It might just be something I need to adjust to. I'm not totally sold on it, but I am not opposed to it either. Ugh, man, these jaggies. Anti-aliasing Mojang, please. We could potentially also do this here. We would need to take a full block. We couldn't just do like slabs there, but that would add a little bit of shading behind there. Let's just try it real quick. Why not? That might be too much or too weird. I don't know. That's too much shadow for how little we're actually shading it with this. I mean, that's shading it. I think it's not quite what I want. Unless I bring it all the way down? Okay, I think we'll leave it there. The next step is to take some of our stone bricks and provide some light somewhere in the middle maybe. We might even try alternating it. Not really sure. It's definitely different. We also have the mossy ones, which might be less stark. I'm a little unclear. I don't think I really want to do just like a strip all the way around like we did up there. This is why I've put this off for so long. All this texturing is so hard. It turns out that I had my brightness Set all the way up to bright. That was part of what was going on. I'm messing around with some ideas. I know it's becoming night here, so let's flip the shaders off. One is to have it be brighter towards this area, not quite all the way at the bottom, and then build like a gradient to bring it in. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm trying to use the mossy brick here, not so much for the moss factor as for the green to help bridge the gap. But I'm not sold on this idea either. I keep staring at it and getting nowhere with this. So I was actually just out looking for the new bushes, but I think this is the calico cat. Yeah, so I think that's the closest we're gonna get to my cat Mew. Yes, named after the Pokemon. But unfortunately, I need fish. I was not prepared for this. Hello? Surely there's a stream around here. Please don't despawn, cat. I'm just saying, if you kill a big salmon, you should get salmon with like an NBT data where, why do you have bone meal? I don't understand. Where it will tame the cat faster, like your chance of taming the cat is increased. Just saying. Come here, Mew. Come back. I know you want fish. What the? There you are. Did you just kill something? Are you killing rabbits? Why are you running away? Where are you going? What is happening? Why are you so hard for me to tame? Ha! All right. One more cat down. One more to go. Well, I seem to have lost the cat. I was trying to get her to follow me, but she's really insistent on sleeping on the bed. And now I can't find that village. So that's great. But this is a neat portal. Lodestone, lodestone. Okay. I'll take all this. Why not? I don't need any of that, though. Ow. There. Jeez. No, we're not going into the village. I had to pull this up in a world editor to see where I had been. What are the loaded chunks? Just to find this place. Okay, so we need to get all the way back to minus 1,000 plus 1,000. Let's get her back before something bad happens again, and then I can go out searching again. Yes, good. All right. Name tag. MEW. God, that's so loud. Where? There you are. All right, finally. Jeez. All right, kitty, let's go to bed, huh? You can lay on this bed if you want. That's fine. I mean, you do love Weenie. So you can hang out there for now if you want, I guess. I think I'd rather have you be over here on the couch though. So maybe we'll work on that. If I come over here, will you come over? Where are you going? Get over onto the couch. There we go. Okay, 3 cats. Real quick, the sun is setting, so let's run over here. I've rethought how I want to do this building. I've been thinking about it all wrong, I think. I've been trying to do gradients so that it comes down. Let's switch off the shaders real quick. I've been thinking about gradients where it's dark up top and then it becomes light to the bottom. But I think what I actually want to do is just details. I got to work on the details. So we're using the same thing up here, but only the bottom half is visible. which helps. And then I've started adding shutters along the side. We're also putting the darker deep slate bricks here, which are mostly hidden, but it just adds to the darkness aspect of this being hidden from the sun. And then we're adding planters down here as well. And I think all of that being done kind of already solves the problem. We could still sprinkle in some stone bricks if we really want to, but I'm not super concerned about it. We'll put some flowers and stuff in here. The bigger concern will be around the side. We've only got the one window and then it's just empty back here. So we may want to do some texturing on this, or we could put a big painting, some sort of graffiti, something like that. And then the back is completely empty, but it's also up against a mountain. So I might just leave that one alone. I also swapped this out for stairs instead of slabs. And then I turned this to tough instead of copper because I think the copper was just not doing it for me. So yeah, making progress. Let me just finish out some additional things here now that I'm done being sidetracked. Okay, I set out northwest. This is what I've been looking for. What are these even called? They are called just wildflowers. We don't need a lot of these because we can bone meal them to get more, but I wanted some just to have them. Hello. Can I have some light here, please? It would also be nice to find some of the new bushes. It's something that I kind of forgot. Like when I think of bushes, I just think of leaves, leaf blocks. So I kind of forgot why everyone was excited that they added bushes to the game. But these are actual bushes, not just leaf blocks. I may have to keep going before I can find those, but at least we finally have these. Ah, here it is. That's the bush, which needs some kind of silk touch. Okay, it doesn't seem to want to play nice with the shaders, but we'll grab a couple of these. These are also renewable, so not a big deal. Bush, wildflowers. There we go. The only thing that I'm missing now, I think, is some of the like dried grass. Let me make sure I'm going the right way this time, since I seem to have a problem with getting lost. I think that's just going to be a beach. Remember how a couple episodes I set up an Ender Pearl station so that when I go out on long journeys like this, I can teleport back? I should probably use that, huh? That would be smart. What kind of cat are you? Boy, these shaders are all kinds of whack right now. I might need to do some adjustments. Okay, so still no dried grass, but here is what this looks like now. I added some buttons here. We've got some flowers here. We're using the new bushes, the new wildflowers to decorate this. And now this looks much more full as compared to all of this. This actually looks done. It looks like something that I intentionally put here instead of just blobs. I also stuck a few of the wildflowers in here just to complete the vibe. So this, I am quite happy with this front yard here. We can add a little bit more decoration to this, sort of maybe like another roof coming down from there just to cover the front. Something like that would be fun. Yeah, we have lots of options, but I think the next thing to work on is actually going to be the house. It's time to finally settle in and work on this. Now, since we have done this as a building with siding, I know this is planks, but we're pretending it's siding. I think there's a couple ways we can do this. Some older houses have like a visible foundation along the bottom. That would require me to dig down, so I don't know if I want to do that, but we can certainly add in probably a lantern over here as sort of a front light. We could possibly hang some lanterns from here, hi Weenie, as porch lights. We need to change the bottom of this to something more like, probably not actually concrete, but we can use sandstone to look like poured concrete, and that will come all the way around here. And then we'll probably do a little bit more of that back here as well. I might bring this out a little bit. We could also do a roof coming down here to cover the back just a little bit. we have a lot of options. I'm starting also to wonder if maybe I should replace these with bamboo trapdoors. More things to think about. You know, now that I've done this, I feel like a Victorian house is not going to have a poured concrete patio. I think they are going to have a wood patio. Let's pull it back out. We can still maybe use this for the back. Let me grab all this, and then let's go have a little look-see. So if we came around back here and we did this kind of patio, we would need to put something else in front of it or finish it off with sand or something. I don't know, but something more like this. And then bring the grass out. Yes. Yeah, I think let's just not have mobs spawning here. So I think this will work for the back then. We can still put the roof or some kind of awning over this, but we'll leave this for the back patio. Maybe even extend it over to here. Just to... Yeah, let's bring it under the window, I think. There we go. Okay, so we'll do this for the back patio. I think that's fine. Even though I just said they probably wouldn't have poured concrete, we're gonna do it anyway for the back, because screw it. But I think for the wraparound porch out front here, I will probably just go grab some oak. And then we'll see about bringing it, actually just bringing it here and putting some like steps there instead of the grass. I think we'll be fine. I forgot slabs were a thing. So we can do this, and then I just have to, I put the stone bricks there to mimic like a concrete foundation sort of thing. And that makes a pretty nice back patio. Out here in the front, I have extended the oak. We just need to bring it around the corner here as well. For this, I'm just using slabs to save on resources, but I think that is a better general idea. It also lets us tie into this. That's probably not how it would really work. There'd be some kind of transition there. We can deal with that later. Oh, that door's not even on that, so we could put like a stair there, and then it should come, it's gonna need to come out. Let's call it like here. Problem that I'm running into is how to connect it up here. I don't really want to bring the wood all the way up. I think I might just need to bring this farther back with the stone for it to make sense, and maybe cut all this grass even farther back over here, because it wouldn't really be flush with that. It would come out more. But I think we're off to a good start. Let me just wrap this around now. Really, one plank short. I forgot to even mention this, but I also changed this again. I think that looks a little nicer. One day I'll make up my mind what I want to do with that. Okay, so here it is, fully wrapping around. We could curve that if we really want. The next step will just be a little bit of terraforming, because really this should be, you would probably have like, oh, what do you call that? Like a lattice? Some sort of wooden lattice under this to keep the rabbits and other pests out. Things like that. It wouldn't just come out and be level with this. This would be a great way to get rot on the wood, in fact. So that would mean having to dig all this out, which means having to terraform all this out. Now, I actually think it could be okay to just leave it like this with slabs. I would take these out and probably fill in with more of the pink planks. And then actually maybe we just cut this off. Let me see how that looks. I actually think that could work. There we go, something more like this. I should probably put something else in the corners there for that to make sense. And then I think underneath I would put some combination of gravel, cobblestone, maybe coarse dirt, something, because obviously you wouldn't have grass growing down here. You would have something more like the foundation. So I added another pillar here so that this little section makes sense. Yeah, I should probably bring this hill back just a little bit so that we can move this out. And then it's just like, maybe we just curve that corner and then that makes enough sense without needing another pillar there. We'll try that and see what we think. Although, I'm gonna leave that alone for now. Let's dig this out a little more. Okay, so I've wrapped around the foundation a little bit more. We're going to also need to throw it under here. I know that's a little overkill, but I like for all the details to be done just in case somebody comes in here and does this. How dare. So at the very least, we need to make sure that anyone could possibly see are covered. So that's probably good as far as foundation stuff goes. We've got this walkway sorted out. I do think we need to put something under here, but it's a pillar. I mean, I could just do that. That might look a little strange given how this all goes. So then the question is, do these pillars need to go all the way down, or should I just be doing this at every corner? I think I should actually have this pillar be at the corner instead. But then I need to bring this roof out one more. This is gonna have to go on the end. No, it would go here. The goal was to try and get all the pillars set back by one, and I've already kind of ruined that here. Let's experiment a little bit, shall we? If I move this pillar back to here, then it goes there. I think that that is still possibly okay. It doesn't look too out of place. So then I need to move this pillar into the corner, but it would really need to be like one over. So then we'd cut that out, move that, and do this kind of thing. I think it's better than it was. Why are you always going down every time I'm trying to record something, huh? So lighting. Lighting is the next major issue here. Let me wake up. Go to sleep? Let me go to sleep and wake up. Well, I did say I wanted to make sure that even the stuff people weren't going to be able to see was still covered. So here I am, underneath the deck, patio, whatever you want to call it. And this is where we're going to put down the gravel in just a minute. No one will ever see that. Oh boy. Well, I can't help myself. And I think as long as I'm under here, I mean, we might as well commit to the bit and knock out this part and put the foundation in, right? I mean, why not? We will alternate this a bit, however, with the mossy. Again, a detail that nobody is ever going to see. All right, so next thing. We'll put cobblestone closer to the house, I guess. For no particular reason other than it just feels right. So this entire line will be cobblestone. And then we'll kind of feather it out. Let me get some gravel. We can do this. Why am I doing this? There's no reason. I could even put mossy cobble down in here. That makes a lot of sense. Why am I like this? Okay, there we go. So now we're all covered with cobble and gravel down underneath. We have our nice front patio, and in the back we have the concrete paver setup going on there. Not really a paver, poured concrete. And then we moved this back just a little bit so that it would all make sense. Boy. Next up is probably adding some lighting so that I can stop putting torch spam everywhere. Okay, now we've got lights. It's almost like string lights, but not quite. I think this works pretty well from all angles here. Obviously, we'll need to put some couches or something there. This door needs something. I had thought about putting a light here. I just really wish you could attach lanterns to walls. If there was an option to just have it so, like right here, when you go from a ceiling, there's a chain, you can set it on the ground and it's flat, but if you set it on a wall, it adds like a little thing coming off it. It becomes a wall sconce. That would really make lanterns great. Just a small little change from Mojang would really be nice for me. Although I guess then you'd run into the problem if I go to hang it from the ceiling here and I want it to hang instead of being off the wall. Whatever, just, you know, just a suggestion. I'm just saying, there are so many times I want to put it on a wall and I can't. So I think for this, maybe we could put some kind of mailbox or something here. That might help. It's just, there's a lot of blank wall there. I don't think we need to do a whole lot with the walls here, but we could put, you know, like a couch or something in front here that people might sit in. Maybe other little doodads here and there, but that is what I'm thinking about for this, and then like a fence along there. The problem will be if we do a fence, then we have like our couch space that works here. No fence there. Fence. Fence. Yeah, I think we can do that. We can put a fence there. So here we go. Now we have white fences. I think that helps. That adds a little something. And we have one couch for right now so that we can sit out and watch the sunset, because it does in fact set on this side, which is nice. Still nothing over here. We will figure that out in just a little bit. Still gotta figure this out too. Ooh. I had an idea while I'm thinking about it. Hold on. So I've been wondering what to do with this section of the wall, and I started thinking, what if we didn't try and make it a gradient or a texture or something? What if we treated this a little bit more realistic? So a lot of times with older buildings, what you have is that there used to be a window here, but then eventually it got bricked over, and that brick is gonna look a little bit different. So we could throw some of this brick in there just to sell the effect of this having once been a different option. We could stick in this, right? Have a little bit different textures here and there. But the general idea is just that this building used to be for something other than a bank. Then they converted it to a bank. They needed this back spot to be sealed off, and so they closed up the window. And so there we go. See, now it kind of makes sense. It adds something different that wasn't there, but without like being just random textures. Maybe we'll add one more cracked brick right there. Now this is textures with a purpose. This is now a sealed over window, and I think that works well. So I'm gonna leave that as a thing. We could do that on the other side as well if we need to, but it's buried so far back here that I'm just not sure it's really worth bothering to decorate that much. All right, me and Mew here, just watching the sun come up. I've added a roof as well as some support pillars. Maybe this is too long of a roof, but the idea is to have this be a covered back patio. It's obviously a different angle than that, but I think that's okay. That's pretty normal. It seems too thin. I suppose I could bulk it up with some additional slabs to sell it, or blocks. I guess I would just replace these with blocks. So we'd have blurp, blurp, blurp. Oh, that actually already looks better. So maybe we just kind of alternate like that. We still have the middle ones being a little thin, but I think that in terms of the overall diagonal, it changes it from this to more like this. It's a very subtle It's a slight change, but it thickens it up just enough to work, I think. I need to go make some more of these tiles. But that will cover up the back end here. We just need to also hang some lights here, I think. Lanterns again, probably, because I'm a sucker for lanterns, what can I say? And then it's really just down to landscaping, not so much changing the hills and stuff, but adding in flowers, maybe some little some planters along the sides here. I think another patio thing here, maybe a grill, some kind of grill thing out there. That would be fun. I also added steps and gates here so that anyone that wants to go out the back that way can do so. It's we're making good progress, I think. Okay, here we go. Excuse you. I added some bushes, like a firefly bush, some flowers, the regular bush. Over here we've got some planters and flowers, and some lights. Here's the grill with some stakes on it. We could possibly do something else with this. I just think for right now this works. We're thinking of this as like a grill built into a shelving unit or something. I think that'll be okay. And then I ended up bringing this down so that these could connect with what would be the poured concrete. You wouldn't really have the pillars going into the grass. It's a great way to get them warped. I ended up going with diorite just because it's a little thicker and I think it looks nicer for this purpose. And then here is now the thicker roof with a slightly different slope. So I think this is working pretty well. Coming around front here, I also added in some bushes to sell the front, as well as some dried leaves. So that is looking pretty good, but something that I'm just now realizing, I've never picked up vines. I was thinking that for the chimney here in particular, maybe that the turret out front, we could add some of the vines going up as if it was, what do you call that, ivy? Some sort of ivy going up. For the record, if you've got that at your house, I know it looks cool, bad for the masonry. Get rid of it. But since this is Minecraft, it's not going to destroy the bricks. So I can go ahead and put that there. I just need to get some. I probably will just go out to the slime farm for that. There's plenty of it there. But yeah, this is starting to really come together. This side in particular is pretty bland right now. I'm not really sure what to do with it. That might have to just be a future problem. I do think up there I should probably add in vents, like attic vents. So we could use trapdoors for that. Whether they are the pink ones or something else, I don't know yet. We'll figure that out. Okay, the last little bits for today. Broke this up with some granite, and I added the vines. The problem with vines is that they just keep growing, so maybe that's not the best course. I'm gonna keep an eye on it and we'll see. I could always put some string or something. That's gonna be a little annoying. You can't just right click with shears or whatever. This is currently kind of a dumb vine pattern, but whatever, we'll figure something out with that. And then over here, we've added this to both sides. So we now have our attic vents for, you know, better heating and cooling performance and all that. So I'm pretty happy with the progress that we've got here. So added a lot of details to this. I think it's still not done. There's a couple other things that we could probably do, but I'm feeling pretty good about that. And I think the bank over here is basically done. The only other thing that I could think of that we might do is maybe around here in the back corner, probably not along the back wall. Maybe we think about adding some sort of air conditioner unit or something. Maybe that's something that we could do on the side of the house over there, like an AC unit, an HVAC thing. But yeah, anyway, I think that's gonna do it for this episode. Hopefully we'll get some more of this detailing done here soon. The rest of these buildings are not really for anything. They're just largely decorative, with the exception of the one for the stonemasons, which we did all the interior, but we should probably start thinking about the exterior as well. So if you missed the video on this, please do go check it out. I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out, but I'm not gonna spoil it all here. You gotta go watch that video. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Please like the video if you did, subscribe if you are not already, and I will see everybody in the next episode. Bye.